Hey guys, been a while, hasn't it? Thought I'd film this day hike. I'm in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. Going to do the Alum Cave Trail today. It's a very popular trail, but the ultimate goal is the peak of Mt Leconte, way up there. But the first 2.5 miles is very popular, as you can see. There's just one trailhead parking lot. There's another one down there. So most people go the 2.5 miles to Alum Cave, and I'll show you what that is when I get there. But those with a little more stamina and adventure can head on up to Mt Leconte, which is an extra 2.5 miles, a lot steeper up. That's my goal today. We'll see how far I make it, but let's do this. Whew. Well, as you can see, like I said earlier, I'm at Great Smoky Mountains National Park. Never been here. Pretty sweet. Here for several days. I've already been here 2 or 3 days already. I've done some day hiking, and I did an overnight at at one of the dozens and dozens of backpacking shelters they have here in the park. I'd never done that before. That was pretty awesome. I also, my first day here, 2 days ago, I day hiked the Rainbow Falls Trail, which is a pretty popular 2.5 mile hike up and then down, so 5 miles total. That was beautiful. I didn't film that one, but I got a lot of good pictures. That evening I did a 2-mile hike back to my car, then went to a trailhead and did a 2-mile hike into the backcountry to stay at a shelter, and I met some really cool people back in there. So first night in the shelter in the middle of the backcountry in the mountains of Tennessee, and I liked it. Cool thing about Rainbow Falls, I did see a mama bear and 3 cubs on trail. You know, that can be a dangerous situation, so obviously you steer clear. I saw them from a distance. I got a couple photos, but they weren't very good because I was so far away, but I was probably a good, I don't know, 50 to 75 yards away, which is about what you need to be safe. But it was cool. I was the first one to come across them, and like I said, it was a popular trail, but I was coming down and I thought I heard some movement over on the side, and it was gorgeous, man. This little tiny baby cub, I mean, it was like, it was born this year. It crossed the trail, then another one crossed the trail. Then we saw the mama down the valley, and she didn't really follow them. I don't know, I guess she trusts them, she'll find them later, but she came up and started walking along the trail I was on, away from me, and I could see other people down along, coming the opposite way on the trail. They had stopped, and it was coming towards them, so they backed up and got out of its way. We eventually cut through the middle. You're not supposed to like cut through switchbacks, but we did, just for bear safety. But it was cool. But anyway, today I'm on the Alum Cave Trail. Beautiful so far. I'm about 3/4 of a mile in, almost a mile actually, and it's been along this beautiful stream the entire way. Alum Cave, I'll show you that when I get there. It's 2.5 miles in, but my end goal is Mt Leconte, like really high. It's like 3rd highest mountain in the Smokies. It's like, I can't remember exactly, 6,300 maybe, 64. I could be wrong there, but it's over 6,000 feet. I know you West Coasters are like 6,000 feet, that's nothing, but biggest one out here, in the Smokies anyway. 3rd biggest. Klingman's Dome is the biggest. But anyway, I will get some water here and finish my rest and continue on. We'll show you sights. Well, I'm a little over a mile in now, and thought I'd give you a trail update. It's like I said earlier, it's a really beautiful hike. You go along this creek the entire time, the first mile, well, 1.25 miles so far. If you have families here in the, bring your family here in the Great Smoky Mountains, this is a good family hike. I've seen people, the trail's right behind me here. You might see people go by as I'm filming this, but there's a lot of people on this trail. people of all ages. There are really young kids, like I've seen 5-6-year-old kids come through here. I've seen elderly, you know, people come through here. It's just a very slight uphill grade for the first mile. I've noticed the last couple hundred feet is starting to get a little more steep, but not that bad. But yeah, if you're here with your family, even if you only come like a mile in and turn around and go back, I mean, you'll get this the entire way. Really easy grade, and I highly recommend it for anybody of all ages. Beautiful. Kind of walking up this little, kind of looked like a stream bed, but there's water running down it just from the rain, I guess, or runoff, but really nice. After crossing that bridge back there where the stream is on the left side now, it'll switch up. I can't tell on video, but the grade's getting a little steeper now. I like it. There's this little footbridge you cross. If you have small children, you might be leery of them crossing that. So when the water's low, they can cross over the rocks down there. There are so many places to stop and look at this creek. So pretty. Wish I could zoom in, but kind of a cascade down there, a small one. So peaceful. So crossing this footbridge, this is what they call Arch Rock. Kind of see it's kind of an arch cut out of the wall here. But it's really cool. You get to walk right up inside of it on these steps. Check it out. Kind of in a little mini cave here. Like you're walking out of a dungeon. This is pretty awesome. Definitely watch your step through here. There's a little chain over here roped for grip if you need it, because the stairs are pretty awkward. They're just cut out of stone. But that was it. Pretty cool, huh? Still got some steps to go up here. But yeah, one of the popular formations along this trail. Just past Arch Rock, I'm just down below, but you'll come to this footbridge that makes a sharp left. Trail's right there. You'll come up and make a sharp left. This is the stream you've been following the whole time, but I believe from what I've read, this is the last source of reliable water source for the rest of the way. So I got 3 liters. I'm gonna slam this liter to camel up a little bit. Camel up means drink a ton of water, get it in your belly, and then load up your bottles with more water, and then make that last the rest of the way. I mean, if you go into Alum Cave, you're fine, you know, but if you go into the peak like me, you'll need all the water you can get. So back there, I drank 1.5 liters of water. So yeah, got plenty in the tank. And I filled up my 3 liters that I have. Plus, I filled up my 1 liter Catadine Bee-Free filter bag. So I have 1.5 liters in my belly, and I'll have 4 liters on me. So I think I have plenty of water. For most people, you think, why are you carrying so much water, dude? You don't need that much. Well, some of you, a lot of you know, but some of you may not know that I'm a kidney transplant patient. 4 years in, Thanks to my wonderful cousin Dennis, a living donor. I love you, buddy. But anyway, I can't get dehydrated. I can't even get slightly dehydrated, so I gotta keep that thing lubed up. And all the sweating you do hiking really makes you need a lot of water. So here we go. Check it out. A little over 2 miles in, maybe 2.1 according to my GPS. Your mileage may vary. About a half mile to Alum Cave, I think. Starting to get a little bit of views now. I think we're up to, now let me check. Excuse the camera for a second. About 4,700 elevation. Alum Cave is, I can't remember, 5,000 something. Mt Leconte, man, I gotta look that up. It's over 6,000, 63, 64, something like that. I'll figure it out when I get up there. But so far, feeling great. Still got plenty of water. Actually, I haven't touched any of what I got down there. Still feeling good. Looks like I'm about to enter Alum Cave. There's a big staircase leading up to it. Probably the steepest climb of the hike so far, just to get up here. Well, here it is, Alum Cave. I'm not quite to the top of it here, but got up out of the way of the people a little bit. It is right at 5,000 feet. Took me a little over an hour and a half to get up here. Most people turn around here and head back, but I'm going to try to keep going forward. It's exactly 2.5 miles up here, and it's another 2.7 to Mt Leconte summit. As you can see, I put my jacket on because it's not really cold up here, but when you're sweaty, it's kind of chill. So I didn't want to like sit up here and shiver. Once I get going, I'll take this back off. Great views up here. Really like it. So check it out. About not quite a half mile past Alum Cave. It's essentially been walking the edge of the mountain here along these trails. And it's pretty much a drop off right beside you. But in the more sketchier spots, they have this chain, not really a chain, but this steel rope. Kind of hang on to if you need it, but it's really not that harrowing. I mean, I've just been walking using these, but I do stay close to the this side. But I'm going slow, being careful. I got all day. Got a couple miles to go to the top, so we'll see how it goes. Feeling good so far. This is cool. Kind of back into a forest setting. So we're going back in a little bit and kind of downhill. The only part about going downhill is you know you got to make it back up because we're not near the top yet. So in that forest, I was actually going downhill for about a quarter mile. I was like, whoa, this isn't right. But we're kind of going back uphill again and kind of make that up. But thought I'd show you this cool view I just came across. So peaceful here. Back we go. I'm at about almost 5,500 feet now. Come up this giant hill. Found a good sitting log. Don't mind if I do. Soak in some water or drink some water too. I met a nice couple earlier from Mississippi. They stopped and talked to me for a few minutes. Had a good view we had down there. But there's a good flow of people on this trail today. Such a nice day. Not nearly as much as when I got to Alum Cave, but kind of nice to have people up through in here. You don't feel you're so isolated by yourself, which to some people that's ideal, but to me I like having a few people around just for safety's sake, you know. But so far so good, feeling great. And this really cool shaded part with water trickling down. They have gracefully etched out some steps in the rock side at some point in history. Thank you. Wow, check this out. Just out of the blue, I'm in this really cool green tunnel. If you've never walked under the roots of a tree, this fallen tree here, you're about to. It's kind of creepy if you ask me. Onward we go. Got about 3/4 of a mile to go. Views are getting better and better. This is amazing. Getting up in the clouds a little bit, but it's clear where I'm at. Almost to the top, I can almost taste it. On a pretty steep stretch here. Rumor has it flattens out pretty soon up here for the last 2 or 3/10 of a mile. I hope so anyway. But anyway, I'm almost there. Thought I'd stop. There's a couple teenagers up ahead of me with a freaking radio boombox. You gotta be kidding me. Well, you know, not old school boombox, but a small one. It's all you don't want to come up to the mountains to hear pop music. So I'm stopping to let them go. Almost to the top. Isn't that awesome? Wow. Not quite to the top, but I'm getting there. Another one of these enchanted forest type looks. This is awesome. I just rounded the corner and look at this. Flat land, hallelujah. Heard there was a flat stretch before the top, so this may be it. Getting close. I am cruising now. This is nice. Holy crap. Look at all the moss. This is so pretty. My dad would love this. Dad, if you're watching, I'm sure you are. I know you love your moss on your hillsides back in Indiana. Look at this. I am not a tree expert at all, but I'm not sure what kind of trees these are, but they're really pretty. The ones that are alive anyway. At a junction here, this is actually the Rainbow Falls Trail. I did that trail the other day, but only went to the Rainbow Falls. I didn't come all the way to the top here. Here in a little bit, I'll show you the Leconte Lodge. It's right down here. It's a hotel. Well, I'll explain to you when I get down there. But, yeah. There's the other way. Alum Cave, Arch Rock, Newfound Gap Road, all back that way. That's where I parked. Newfound Gap Road, 4.9 miles from here. Here we go, almost there. Believe it or not, there's a hotel down here. Well, they're actually cabins, but the only way to get to them is to hike to them. So all the people that are here hiked up here. It's really hard to get a room up here. You got to book well in advance, maybe a year. I'll let you pause this if you want to read it. A little history of Mt Leconte. Here's the lodge office. I just had lunch right up there. They sell t-shirts and actually box lunches up in there too. Kind of cool. Kind of see the fog rolling in. It's been foggy ever since I've been up here. So I don't think I'm going to see any peaks or any views up here, but I got plenty on the way up, but I'll get some more on the way down too. So not all is lost. Met some cool people up here. Had lunch up there, but time to start heading back down. Here's a little view of some of these cabins. Aren't they kind of cool, kind of quaint? You apparently got to book these like way in advance. I don't know how long, year, I don't know, something like that. So I'm walking down between these bushes, an area called Cloud Top. It's right above the lodge, about 2/10 of a mile. I figure it was worth it to come up here. You can see why it's called Cloud Top. You're in the clouds. Well, pretty much most of the top of this mountain is, but there's a bluff over there people are sitting on that I can get over here and in these flowers and bees. So cool. This wraps up the ascent. Great time, about to head down.
All right, let's do a cool picture.
Started my descent about 10 minutes ago. Back in familiar territory. Great views on the way down. I tell you what, I'm not going to get a better view than this on the way down. That is awesome. So I'm probably going to go ahead and close the video out here. So I'm just going to book it down this mountain, get back. But thanks for coming along. Hell of a day hike, don't you say? I got about 4.5 miles left in me to get down there, but pretty proud of myself for this. This is kind of a well-known part of the trail because it's literally a rock slide down to the bottom. And it's way down there. Pretty view. They have these rope rails, or steel rope rails again if you need them. The trail is actually pretty wide, so you don't really feel like you're too much in peril, but cool spot. If you're really in a pinch for water, I guess there are little springs like this along the way. Depending on flow rate, but you could put a filter underneath that and get some water if you really needed it. It's a really pretty day down here underneath cloud level. I'm almost to Alum Cave. Another 2/10 of a mile, I think. Take a rest there. Forgot about this really steep part on the way up. Slow and easy down. I can hear people down here almost back to Alum Cave. That's gonna be a sight for sore eyes. I gotta say, man, all this elevation drop I've done coming down in the past hour and a half or whatever, I'm getting more and more impressed with myself on how much I hiked up today. Whew, what a rush. Well, I'm back to Alum Cave on the way back down. Tell you what, man, sight for sore eyes for sure. A, because I know I'm over halfway down now, and B, I know the terrain is a lot better. A lot of people come to Alum Cave, a lot less than go to Mt Leconte, so it's a much nicer trail. Cool stuff. I think this is called Inspiration Point. I think if you look over there, you might have to zoom in. That first rock formation. There's like a little hole and like a bullet hole up there. Well, bigger than that, but kind of a natural arch. I think there's one below it too. Anyway, if you're watching on your phone, pause the video and zoom in. Kind of cool. Reminds me of Red River Gorge. They have a lot of arches and formations like that. But that's the only one I've seen here. Actually, a little further down trail, this is Inspiration Point, 'cause it's actually on a point. But anyway, there's a view of the same rock formations over there. If you kind of like want to pause and zoom in, you can see them. But also earlier I said I hadn't seen any other arch formations, but I'm like, duh, I walked through the arch coming up here, the big one, which we're about to do here pretty soon. Oh man, got a little under 2 miles of the car. I'm in cruise control now. I mean, the hard steepage, the steep incline is over, but I changed my shirt up there at Alum Cave because, man, that other one I had on the long sleeve I put on up at the Leconte Lodge. It was a little cooler up there. It wasn't that bad, but it was like 63 degrees or something. It's like around 70, 71, 72 down here. Not that bad, but when you're hiking in a long sleeve shirt, that's not cool. I put it on up there because of the wind and just this shirt was sopping wet. But anyway, here's what the trail looks like now. Gentle downhill slopes. The stream that lasts for the first mile and a half of the trail is coming up here. That'd be really good to be at the stream again. Recognize that? Down on that deep black hole down there is Arch Rock, coming from the top side now. So, as you can probably hopefully hear, the stream is down there. So I'm about 1.25 miles back to the car. I couldn't be happier. It's a little more dramatic coming this way. It literally looks like you're walking into this dungeon, down into the dungeon of a castle. Game of Thrones nightmares happening here. Ah, the familiarity of the creek. Just came out of that hole. Back to family-friendly hiking, like I explained way back in the beginning. What a gorgeous scene here. My goodness. Sun's out, bleeding through here. This last half-mile stretch to the car. I am floating, man. Literally floating. Such a great time today. I mean, it's type B fun. Like torturing yourself, but I look at it as pushing myself, being the best person I can be. Mentally, physically, emotionally. This is why I hike scenes like this. We back. Well, 7 hours later, 3,100 feet of elevation gain later, I'm back at the trailhead. This is Newfound Gap Road here in Great Smoky Mountain National Park. I gotta tell you, it was the hike of my life. I really worked a long way to get up to the ability to be able to do this, especially 4 years after my kidney transplant. Like I said earlier, I do hiking for inspiration, hopefully inspire others, but inspire myself too. I'm really freaking proud of myself. It's hard to believe how far I've come along. I've actually done more hiking out here this week, but I didn't film it. I did like 7 miles a couple days ago with an overnight stay in a backcountry shelter. That was awesome. I took a bunch of cool pictures. I just wanted to kind of get my trail legs going because I was really sore yesterday. So I took a day off and decided to come out today to tackle this monster. But again, thanks for watching. Hopefully you gain some inspiration from a lot of the things I do out here, but I'm just a guy living my best life. So thanks again.